Good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing well. I'm finishing something up real quick, and then I will be ready. One more second. And all right. There we go. Looks somewhat decent, I think. What is up, NASCAR fans? Hello, David, Micah. Yeah, the screen's black. Yeah, I know. I was finishing something. I was on my phone typing and tweeting and putting to the YouTube community post that we were live just because it's not normal, this situation. Usually we do it at 5 o'clock, the day after the race. And yes, it is technically Monday for the Monday after. But as I said, usually we do it the day after, regardless of the day. But as I said, apologies for the sudden shift, but I just can't do tomorrow night. So I wanted to do it tonight versus Wednesday night. So yes, Michigan. Let's talk about it. So, not as controversial as last week, obviously. There are some topics I want to cover tonight. First, let's get you a look at the results of the race so you can stop looking at a full dark screen. There you go, Micah. But yes, it wasn't as chaotic as last week, obviously, with the whole Austin Dillon, Joey Logano thing. But they tried. They tried to make it kind of crazy there by throwing that caution for Truex. That shouldn't have been a caution, but it turned out fine. The results, the biggest change was Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney falling out of the top 10, and then Buescher, Zane Smith, Suarez getting up in there. And then another big change was Chastain. That really impacted Chastain. So, Chastain lost a lot of points because of that caution call, ultimately. Crazy racing, says David. Yeah, it was crazy there for a bit, but it was great racing. It wasn't like, as I said, like last week. I hate to go back to it, but last week was like a bad crazy racing. This week was a good crazy racing. It was fun. It was exciting. We had all these different I mean, look at this lap sled category. Reddick. Let's see. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different guys led laps today, which is always kind of fun, even if it's through strategy and whatnot. But I'm sure we could all go and nitpick who legit led laps and who needed strategy. But, I mean, stat sheet says they led laps. Doesn't matter how. So, Cloudy341 Blade says, here's a fun fact. Every race since 1994, we had a flip in every major top 3 series of Cup, including Truck and Xfinity. That is kind of interesting. It took me a second to process, but what I'm picking up is what you're saying. From what I pick up of what you're saying, is that every single year since 1994, we have had one single flip at least in every national series. So the Cup Series, the Xfinity, and Truck has had a flip every year. Who was the flip? Oh, right, Priest last year. How could I forget that? 2022 was Harrison Burton. 2021 would have been... Who flipped in 2021? I don't know. I'm forgetting. Apologies. But yeah, I mean, trucks. I remember at Daytona this year, I went on a rant. I was really mad at the Truck Series after Phoenix last year, so I went on a rant about the Truck Series after that ending. And then Xfinity, Kyle Sieg yesterday, obviously. So yeah, they've had their good share of flips, I guess. NASCAR has. In between the lanes, hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Micah says this might be a hot take, but I don't have Kyle Larson in my championship 4. It's either checkers or wreckers for him, and it's going to cost him. Yeah, obviously we will do our playoff prediction preview video in about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from now we'll be making our predictions. So yeah, it's for sure a hot take just because Larson's so good. He has all these wins. He's been leading the points most of the year, and he has all these bonus points, but it's not that crazy due to this format. Larson's not a great super speedway racer, so he has that going against him, and there's a super speedway in each of the first 2 rounds. And then you've got road courses, which he's good at, but all it takes is one mistake. All it takes is a poorly timed caution, and you're out of that thing. And then as for Kansas and Bristol, unfortunately for this strategy, you're going to need him to have some sort of problem there. So I think the bonus points are ultimately going to carry him, but I see what you're saying, and it's a problem that Larson's had since this next-gen car that we've seen. 2022 is the biggest example because they were like 9th in the standings, but they had so much race-winning speed, and last year they still had the same problems. And Larson's done better about it this year, but as of late, it's come back up. This week, Iowa, but the thing is if Larson makes the round of 8, he's making the championship 4 because that round is way too good for him. He's going to win one of those 3 races if he's in the playoffs still. So ultimately for Larson, the biggest thing, as I said, is, well, as I said, he's too good at those tracks. But the first 2 rounds, I understand the concern. Not NASCAR related, but nice. Yeah, the hair was getting too long. I had to get it cut. So thank you for the compliment on the haircut, but it was too long. Reddick made more progress in his second year with a new team than where he was at RCR in his 3 years. Just shows that. Yeah, I mean, that move, and everyone at the time was like, oh my goodness, what a shocking move. But it's worked out quite well for Reddick. He's obviously won more than Kyle Busch. He's run better than Kyle Busch, and RCR's had their struggles, and you could relate that to it too, but it's been a great move. My biggest thing is I picked Reddick to win the championship last year, and I'm currently, part of me is regretting not pushing it back a year and having him this year win the championship because Reddick's looking like a championship threat. He's leading the points. He's been the hottest driver this summer. He's got a couple wins. He should have 6 or 7 wins this year, and maybe not 6 or 7. Maybe that's extreme. 4 or 5. Let's say 4 or 5. Texas could have gone his way. Vegas, maybe. Darlington, he did that to himself, so I don't feel that bad about him on that one. I know I'm forgetting something. Nashville, he could have had. I mean, there's a lot of races you can go back to and say Tyler Reddick should have won that race in 2024. And he's going to start getting him to go his way. Today was an example. He didn't lead the most laps. He didn't even win a stage. Hell, he didn't even score a stage point, but it fell his way. He was fast. He showed up at the right time, and he didn't fluke into this win or back into this win, however you want to say it. He had genuine speed. He just showed up at the right time. So, yeah, as for Reddick, I mean, a great time to get a win, but they need playoff points. Reddick's kind of hit or miss on those super speedways, and I know he's really good at road courses, but when you don't have a lot of points, you need to run well at the super speedways, especially in these first 2 rounds. So ultimately, they need to start getting more points, and this is one way to do it by winning the regular season championship, winning races, and they got another great opportunity in 2 weeks at Darlington. I don't know about this week at Daytona. Anything could happen, but I know he won a duel earlier this year, but I would say Darlington, he's got like a legit shot. I'm not saying he doesn't have a legit shot. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? I think you understand what I'm saying. Kyle Busch almost won. Yeah, when he got that lead with 30 to go on the 2 tires, I was like, man, if he wins that race, everyone's going to be complaining about aero blocking and the aerodynamics, dirty air, and it's going to be super annoying, but Kyle Busch won, and that's a story in itself, but he didn't. Tires made a difference at the end, and it was very possible to pass. As I said, great racing, 4 grooves almost in a sense. So the racing was fantastic today. But, yeah, you can say almost all you want, but ultimately they need a win. They can't settle in these almost wins. They have to win a race to advance to the playoffs. And even if they make the playoffs, I don't think they go very far. Happy for Kyle Busch, hated for Martin Truex Jr. Yeah, for sure. Kyle Busch, as we stated, this year's been horrendous for him. So any top 5 he can get, good for him. As for Martin Truex Jr., yeah, should have had a top 5 today. Maybe a win. Maybe that wasn't in the cards, but at least a top 5. And he threw it away. Hit the wall. Ruined their day. Finished, let's see, I got the results here. 24th, I think it was. Yeah, 24th. So, what are you going to do about it? It's their own fault. Or it's his own fault, I should say. I was just waiting on Kyle Busch to wreck or something because how he ran today was too good to be true. Yeah, it was weird. You know, he led, once again, I got it right here. I love doing this on the laptop. I got all my resources right here. I don't have to go digging, looking off screen. Kyle Busch led 24 laps today. That's got to be the most he's led this year. I know he led some at Vegas and Kansas, but I don't know if it was that many laps. Maybe if he led at a short track, he led more than that. But he led laps. He won a stage. Kyle Busch won a stage today. It's crazy. But no wrecks, no incidents, nothing. Everything went right for him today. I don't see Larson making the championship 4 because of how many wildcard races. Yeah. Once again, we already kind of touched on it. But, yeah, his over-aggression could be the downfall of him. But once again, he's got so many points. I think in that first round, it'll end up working out. But the second round is more concerning. But I will say, I think a big name, a top seed, gets eliminated in that first round. You know, we haven't seen that since before playoff points. Like, I think it was Jimmy Johnson got eliminated in 2015 in the first round. Dale Jr. in 2014 maybe got eliminated in the first round. He had like 4 wins that year. So ultimately, I think we see a big name go down this year. But I just think Larson and Bell, they could be the guy, but they have too many points. That's the thing with them. But I think Byron's been so inconsistent. If he wrecks at Atlanta, maybe him. Elliott doesn't have a big buffer, so if he has a bad race anywhere, he's on the bubble. So I do think we see a big name get knocked out in that first round because there's a super speedway and a road course in there. But I think Larson survives just because he has enough points. Same thing for Hamlin. Hamlin's biggest concern is the road courses, I would say. He's good on the super speedways, but anyone can get caught out on the super speedways, and road courses he's kind of inconsistent at, so even he's a threat to get eliminated. But just like Larson and Bell, he's got too many points. I don't see them getting eliminated first round. Second round, though, I'll listen to you on that one. It's possible. Oh my, I'm behind on comments. Let's see here. NASCAR is so good at being consistently inconsistent, throwing that caution for a car going up the track. Yeah, we said it in the video, but yeah, it's crazy that Austin Cindric goes up and smacks the wall with his right rear and pancakes the wall, and no caution. It's all cool. It's all good. Keep on racing. And then Truex does it with 4 to go, and it's like before he even hits the wall, they're hitting the button. They were ready. They were like, let's go. Caution, baby. Oh, yeah. Stack them up and let's go have a few restarts here. So NASCAR with under 15, 20 to go, they definitely get a little bit more excited with the caution button. And I get why. It's more entertaining. It's more exciting, but it does make it a little more fluky. It makes it a little bit more manufactured and a little bit more staged, maybe manipulated. But as I said, at the end of the day, the right guy won the race, so I'm not as irked about it as I usually would be. Reddick is buying the 2311 Crew McDonald's after this win. Is he actually? Is that like a Twitter post that I missed? That's kind of cool if he did. If not, then, well, I've been manipulated. I'm kidding. It's not that deep. It's also crazy that this would have been Reddick's first year with 2311, considering he was staying with RCR in 22 and 23. Yeah, I think if this was Reddick's first year, I don't think he would go on the tear. I know Toyota's been really good this year. I know Reddick's a really good driver, but first year with the team, I should have factored this into my championship pick last year, but it's hard. It's hard to win, you know? It's not hard to win, but it's hard to put together a championship run. Under this format, it's possible, but at the end of the day, it is difficult. Reddick is a good plate racer. He won his dual race, won at Dega. Has Denny to help him? Yeah, as I said, he's won. He's won a duel, but he is a little bit inconsistent. When we looked at his numbers for the championship case, his numbers were a little bit up and down. They were a little bit random. And once again, I'm not saying he's going to be a non-factor. It's just when we're going to make our Daytona Monday picks. By the way, remember who I picked last Monday? I got to brag about it, okay? I want 10 seconds of happiness. Who was my Monday pick last week? That's right. It was Tyler Reddick. Finally got one. 1 for 23, baby. Let's get it. 1 for 23. I think we're at 23. Maybe it's 1 for 24, but I'm just happy to get one. I got one more win than Kyle Busch this year. Sorry, Kyle Busch fans. It's too easy. It's too easy this year. Anyway, no, he's going to be a factor. It's just the super speedways are so random. We're going to make our picks here in 20, 30 minutes. Let's see. 20, 30 minutes. And let me tell you, I don't know what's going to happen at Daytona. I don't know who's going to win. No one knows who's going to win. There used to be a time when Denny Hamlin, Cloudy 341 blade, he knows what I'm about to talk about. From 2019 or 2018 maybe? 2019 to 2021, you knew there was a good shot Denny Hamlin was going to win. He won the 2019 Daytona 500, the 2020 Daytona 500, 2020 at Talladega. And when he didn't win, he was a factor. And if he was a factor and he didn't have a good finish, it's because he got wrecked with 2 to go. Like, Denny Hamlin is going to be a factor. He's going to be in contention. But since this next-gen car, I don't know who's going to win. You don't know who's going to win. No one knows who's going to win. Have we even had a repeat winner at any of the super speedways? Daytona, let's see. Let's go through the Daytona winners. Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse. First of all, those are your first 3 winners in the next-gen era at Daytona. Who won the fall? Buescher. Who would have guessed those are the first 4? Byron, that's your first 5 winners. We go to Talladega. 2022 spring was Chastain. 2022 fall was Elliott. 2023 spring was Kyle Busch. So we're getting some more normal winners at Talladega. Ryan Blaney in the fall. So Talladega is the most normal, ironically. That's kind of crazy. And then who won in the spring? I was at the Reddick. So we've had normal winners at Talladega. It's been a little bit random with who they are, but I mean, they've been normal winners. It hasn't been like Austin Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Austin Cindric. So Daytona's the most random of the super speedways. If anything, I guess Byron in the spring, that was a normal winner. So maybe we're not due, but we're due for consecutive maybe. So maybe I'll go conservative with this pick later on. 5th and 5th. Oh, it has been a while since we checked the fantasy standings. We're going to do it. I didn't even check my fantasy team today. Well, I should have put Denny in. Larson, that bit me in the butt. Bell, oh my. Well, this is, oh my Lord. Well, I got that right. Good for me. Hey, I got 2 of them. Ooh, that is pretty bad. Dan the Jets fan still leads. Oh, he's actually pulled away a little bit. Almost a 100-point lead for Dan the Jets fan. Close battle for second, though, between these 3. Only 38 points separates them. Kind of in the mix is Zerkman 95. I'm all by myself in 6th place. I can't really catch 5th, but 7th can't really catch me. I guess that's a nice place to be. 8th place, It Factor Autosport. They're having a nice little battle, and they got a little bit of a drop-off to Matt Smith, and then we got Hell on Wheels, and then we got PC. Then we got some more heavier drop-offs as we go down the list. Oh, we got 18. David Jerry, that's our newest member. David, welcome to the Fantasy League. Welcome. If you're here right now, I will add the link. Oh, no. I will add the link. How do you do this without my using, all right, give me a second. I don't know what's going to, Twitter's unpredictable these days. You never know what you're going to get. So give me a second. Like, whether it's the trending, you don't know what you're going to get with Twitter these days. It's an unpredictable mess. All right, there we go. That's better. All right, here you go. Paste. Sorry, I kind of have to look over my screen to look at my other screen. There you go. If you want to join the fantasy, yeah. All right, back to this. Are you surprised by the speed by 2311 this summer? I mean, they were on it. Bubba getting top 10s, Reddick getting top 3s. Surprise. Am I surprised? Let's go to the standings real quick. I do want to talk about Cory LaJoie's flip, and then we can move on from Michigan. Reddick's really good. Toyota's been great all year, so I wouldn't say surprised. I'd say I'm more surprised with how Bubba just randomly caught fire. Like, it wasn't like slowly building up and getting better each and every week. Like, all of a sudden, like, it was Indianapolis or Pocono. Like, all of a sudden, they're top 5, winning a stage, top 5 at Richmond, top 5 speed at Michigan before the crash. And it's like, where did this come from? Like, Reddick, we've seen flashes of it. Reddick, we saw it at Vegas. We saw it at Texas. We saw it at Darlington. So we knew that if they could string the finishes together, we could see what we're seeing. Bubba, though, has been a little bit more inconsistent, and we haven't seen as much from him. So, from Reddick's side, no. From Bubba's, once again, just with how quickly it came up, I would say. But how about Cory LaJoie's flip? Oh, my Lord. Didn't really talk about much in the video, but what Jeff Burton said was right. There is no reason a car, by itself with no other cars influencing the air around it, should be flipping that easy. That is a concern. Now, Denny Hamlin, after the race, expressed that, I'd rather flip than hit the wall really hard. And that's true. But one of these times a flip's going to go wrong. They're going to bounce at the wrong angle, or they're going to get into the catch fence. Someone's going to get hurt. Debris going to go flying somewhere. And it's just too many things can go wrong with a flip. So they're taking that car to the Research and Development Center, which is very good. Very good. But I'd say there's reason for concern. But anyways, crazy flip. The fact that we had 2 flips in one weekend and it wasn't Daytona or Talladega is crazy. Michigan, I mean, I get Michigan's fast, but the fact that we had 2 flips in one weekend is just absurdly crazy. The Kyle Sieg one, that was a freak of nature. That happens when 2 cars are connected like that. We've seen it in the past where they're connected and the air gets under the car and it's kind of leaning on the other car, and then all of a sudden the car turns at an angle and there he goes. They're flipping. But the LaJoie thing, that was like I literally left the room, I kid you not, to get some water, to do something. And I come back in and Rick Allen's like, and the 7 of Cory LaJoie. What? He flipped? By the way, if this was Rick Allen's last call, I just want to say I appreciate Rick Allen. I know not everyone is a fan of his, but he's done great. He's had some memorable calls, some great calls. He always does a great job of talking about the race, talking about what's happening, asking good questions to Steve Letarte, Jeff Burton. So if this was Rick Allen's last race as a NASCAR Cup Series commentator, I've appreciated all that he's done. I really have. I think he's done a great job. I hope he gets a job somewhere else in NASCAR, whether it's at the CW, which is what he's doing the rest of the year with the Xfinity Series. Whether he goes to Amazon or TNT. I love Rick Allen. I think he has some great calls. So if that was the last of him, just want to say that I appreciate his calls. I think he was really good at it. All right, let's see here. We already read that. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's up? I hope you're doing well. Icy. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. 40 entries for Daytona. Holy cow. Yeah, man. Daytona is gonna be crazy. I mean, let's look at it. let's get to the entry list here. The entry list. Feel free to like the live stream if you want. If not, cool. It's fine. But if you want to, while I'm pulling up the entry list here, would be neat. All right. So do we want to look at it? Let's look at Cup first. The majority of people care about Cup. The comments section this week on the entry list is quite something. Here's the entry list. So let's look at the notables. We've got Shane Van Gisbergen in the 16. We got Cody Ware in the 15. Quite the combo. Going down the list, Austin Hill making one of his part-time starts this year. We've got Joey Gase is racing for the NY Racing Team. Joey Gase in the number 44 car. That's going to be interesting. And then going down the list, we already knew this, but Parker Retzlaff with Beard Motorsports. BJ McLeod, we knew that. It's going to be a week. It's going to be a week here at Daytona. It is going to be, I think it's going to be the normal playoff cutoff race. I know we have Darlington after, but the fact of the matter is the majority of these guys, it's their last chance to win. I think it's going to be chaotic. I think it's going to get stupid. I think we're going to see one stupid wreck that we always see. I don't know who's going to cause it, but we're going to see someone push the limit, and they're going to find it, and they're going to go over it. Just saying, it's going to be crazy, man. This is your entry list. All right, back to the comments. Kind of concerned for Byron. He's not as consistent as he was last year. Yeah. Where did that comment go? Where was I? Oh, there we go. Fun fact, it's going to rain in 5 days. Why am I not shocked? I'd rather have it rain at Daytona, though, than Darlington and Atlanta. So, I'd rather it not rain at all, but anyways. Best paint scheme this week, but in my opinion, John Hunter Nemechek. Yeah, John Hunter Nemechek, that Mobil 1 paint scheme looked good. So, yeah, that was a good-looking paint scheme. Quite the paint scheme. Really good-looking car. As you said, Cloudy, 341 blade. Corey's the first driver to flip in the same season. Wallace did. Logano, Blaney, Wallace were a couple of drivers I had got involved in wrecks. Took a chance with Austin Dillon. F in the chat for Rick Allen calling his last NASCAR race of the season before Diffie. Well, Rick Allen's still calling Xfinity, so he's only done with Cup. Don't worry. Truex was in your lineup. Yeah, that ended up backfiring late. Rick Allen thought Chastain made contact with the wall. Yeah, that was a little bizarre, but hey, we all make mistakes. We're all human. If Bubba didn't wreck, I'd argue he had the fastest car all day, or yesterday, even Reddick faster than him all day. I mean, you could argue it for sure, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard to argue. But he had top 3 speed. I don't think you can dispute that. Top 5 at the absolute worst. I think one of the bubble drivers are going to probably win at Daytona, It says Micah. So who's our bubble drivers? We got Chastain, Bubba, Buescher, Gibbs. Truex is not on the bubble for me. He's in. He's fine. Even if he crashes this week, one of those 4 guys, they'll get involved in a wreck. But if someone else wins, that's when your problem comes for Truex. But once again, Truex is not on the bubble for me. He's fine. So what you're saying is you think Ty Gibbs is going to get his first career win. Chastain gets his 5th career win. Bubba gets his 3rd career win. Or Buescher gets his 6th career win. I'd say if we're having to rank those in likelihood, I'm going to say Buescher, Bubba, Chastain, Gibbs. I think RFK is still really good. I think they're going to have a great shot. He's got a teammate who's already in. As for the other three, well, guys, I don't know what to predict this week. I got one right last week. I'm riding, or technically today, I'm riding the high on it. I'm going to ride the high on it for 3 weeks, and then I'm going to realize I stink at picks again. I don't know who I'm picking this week. Like, this is going to be a last-minute decision. Fun fact, last time we had a flip at Michigan was 2007 at IndyCar with Dario Franchitti. Apologies. Yeah, I can't think of a Cup Series or a NASCAR flip at Michigan as of recent. So, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Can William Byron sweep Daytona this year? Never happened for that. No. 2013, Jimmy Johnson did it. I think he's the last one to do it. For someone to win the Daytona 500 and then go on in July, August, whenever the second Daytona race is, win both Daytona Cup Series points races in a season. So Byron would become the first driver since Jimmy and make it back-to-back for Hendrick to do that quest accomplishment thingy. So he's got a chance. Once again, I don't know how to predict this week, man. If you know how to predict this week, then let me know. Base Tugboat 2675 says the rumor is that the flip was caused by sudden wind bursts at the exact moment he spun. Could be. I'm gullible, so I'd believe it, but I don't know how they test that. I don't know how they say, oh yeah, the SMT tells us there was wind. How does the SMT tell how much wind there is? I'm not doubting that there's technology like that, but just how does it track that? I guess I'm asking too many dumb questions here. I'm gonna get exposed for being too dumb. If that hasn't happened in a while. Question: is this a new setup? This is my first live in a while. This new setup has been in place for 3 race weekends now. I think we started at Pocono, maybe. Yeah, so essentially my old laptop was old and beat. I still have it in the corner over here, but it got really loud and it didn't like to work properly. So I got a new laptop that doesn't overheat, that doesn't make loud noises, and it can live stream. So we do it on the computer so I can show you what I'm talking about rather than me on my phone or on my laptop. Like, let me look this up. Like, you can see what I'm talking about now, essentially. It's much better, I think. Obviously, you guys are the viewers, so you guys could tell me, but that's just my opinion. It seems better. I'd rather have you look at the entry list, the finishing results, the point standings, and just staring at my face as I read it off. I hope Kyle Busch wins Daytona to keep the streak alive. I mean, once again, it's possible. I could look up his odds. I was looking at they already have the odds up. They usually wait till the entry list comes out. I guess the entry list came out today, but they were quick on it. Even though there was a race today, Las Vegas never rests. They are always on it. Kyle Busch's odds. Let's have some fun here. Let's see what the worst odds are. Let's go look at Parker Retzlaff's odds. Kyle Busch is 15-1. Parker Retzlaff. Parker Retzlaff, Joey Gase, BJ McLeod, and Cody Ware are all 500-1 to win this race. 500-1. And to compare that to the favorite Joey Logano or Brad Keselowski, 9-1. So you got 9-1, you got 500-1. Either way, they could both lose and it doesn't matter. Oh, that is so funny. Oh my goodness. Everyone hold on. Actually, I missed one. In between the lanes, Chase Elliott hit 203 miles per hour. Yeah, no, they were going so fast. At one point in the draft, they were showing Elliott and Kyle Busch when they were kind of drafting with each other. Elliott or Busch at 206, I think. So quite impressive, quite fast. Love to see that speed out of the car. So exciting. Unless they're flipping, then I guess we got to solve that problem. Everyone asking the wrong question. The real question is, which lap will the big wreck happen and who would start? Oh, that one. Yes. I'd rather predict that. I want that my Monday pick instead of whoever I pick to win. All right, let's do it. Everyone in the comments, how many people are in this thing now? 13. My computer says 13. My phone says 13. 13 of you. Who causes the big one and how many cars are involved? I'm very curious to what this response is going to be. Who causes the big one and how many cars are involved? The biggest crash of the night at Daytona. Who causes it? I'm very curious to these answers. Very curious. I got the entry list. Come look at any of these guys. Any one of them. Any one of them. Let's see. KJ Productions says, as someone whose fifth and second favorite racers in the Cup Series are Kyle Busch and Tyler Reddick, very happy today. Yeah, hey, KJ. I remember last week. I crushed your soul because I said Austin Dillon's in the playoffs and Kyle Busch isn't. Well, this week, neither of them are in the playoffs, so you don't have to live through that nightmare until Austin Dillon wins at Daytona this week. I'm sorry, Kyle Busch fans. I'm not trying to be I guess I am trying to be this mean, but it's too easy. I'm sorry. He's having a bad year. Do you think Truex gets a win this year? Yes. I'm saving that prediction for the playoffs, my playoff preview, because I want to give a specific reason why I'm picking Truex to win a race in the playoffs. And I'm picking a specific race because I don't want to. Look forward to my playoff preview. Here's free advertisement for it. My playoff preview, I'm going to pick Martin Truex Jr. to win a race. Where's his last win going to be? Ooh. I'm probably going to be wrong, so it's not going to matter. Even though I have some doubts about the 8 winning this year, glad to see Kyle be competitive again. Best since he finished 9th at Chicago. His first top 5 since Dover in April. Well, yeah, he only has 3 top 5s this year. It's easy to pick him out. Atlanta, Dover, Michigan. Don't even have to think much about it because there's been so few. Why does base tugboat 2675? That is why I don't have the comments on Twitter, because all the comments are making jokes about Ty Gibbs' sponsor. I'm not getting political on here. Okay, I'm reading the entry list. If you look at the entry list here, look at the sponsor for the 54 car, Ronald Reagan. What does that mean? Did Ronald Reagan rise from the grave and he's sponsoring the 54 car? Is it his foundation? Is it his national library? Is it something else? I don't know what that means. I am lost. Is it political? I thought we banned political sponsors. I'm very confused to what it is. I just hope they have a cool paint scheme. It's probably terrible to say, but it's very confusing. It really is. So if someone wants to explain that to me, thank you very much. In Between the Lanes, a Ronald Reagan movie. How do I not know about this? I love movies. I should know about this. Ronald Reagan. We're talking about Ronald Reagan. I never thought this would happen. Okay, I look up Ronald Reagan movie. He used to be an actor too, so all of his movies come. Yep. Reagan is a 2024 film directed by Sean McNamara. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Dennis Quaid. Okay, Dennis Quaid. John Voight's in it. Neat. Okay. So that makes a lot more sense now. I was so confused. We're talking about Ronald Reagan. I thought it was going to be his presidential library, maybe a foundation, or maybe some political thing. But no, it's about a movie. Okay, that makes a lot. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That makes a lot more sense. Oh, that was about to get ugly. Okay, so earlier, about 7-8 minutes ago, I asked you guys to predict Who causes the big one, and how many cars are in it? All right, so here's your answer. Get me today! Tech says Stenhouse causes an 18-car wreck. Okay. Base Tugboat 2675 says there will be 30 cars wrecked with 2 flips at the same. God, you just want carnage, don't you? So the question is, who causes the 30-car wreck with 2 flips at the same time? Good grief, man. It's like violence. It's so diabolical almost. Cloudy341 Blade says, I say Brad causes it because he always pushes so aggressively. He flipped Burton in the 22-500, caused a wreck on lap 2 in the 5. Okay, Cloudy341 Blade says Brad. Who causes, or not who, how many cars are in this? We've heard Stenhouse causes an 18. There is a 30-car pileup with 2 flips, just to be specific, but we don't know who caused it. And then as for Brad, we don't know how many cars Brad took with him. Or maybe he just took them out. Maybe he just clipped someone and he goes on his merry way while just carnage, junkyard, car death goes on behind him. David says Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Okay, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. seems to be a popular pick. Let's be honest. Does anyone believe that Austin Dillon will win his appeal? No. They're just appealing because if they didn't appeal, they would be surrendering. They would be conceding the fact. And let's be honest, it's also if they don't appeal and they don't win at Daytona, then that was a waste of time. They didn't do everything to their ability to make the playoffs. So they gotta try something. If they don't win at Daytona, that's their only shot is to appeal it. So we'll see. Either Keselowski pushes someone at a bad angle, Stenhouse does something stupid, or Logano gets over aggressive. All right, so in terms of the big one, who's going to cause it? The answer so far, Stenhouse, Brad, Logano. How many? We've heard 18, we've heard 30 with 2 flips. And somewhere down the line it says Kyle Busch. Oh my goodness. I can see Todd Gilliland winning Daytona, Buescher winning the Southern 500 to make up for the spring Darlington to get into the playoffs. That'd be quite the story. I think it's possible. I don't know if it'll happen. Buescher's run really good at the last 2 Darlington races, though. He finished 3rd last fall. He would have finished top 2 if it wasn't for Reddick's maneuver, if we're going to call it that. So it's possible. Todd Gilliland's been great at the super speedways this year. He's led laps at Atlanta. He led laps in the Daytona 500. Todd Gilliland's going to be a factor in this thing. Todd Gilliland is going to qualify, here's my first prediction, in the top 5 again. He did it at Talladega. He qualified on the 2nd row. Front row, Ford has been great at the super speedway qualifying this year, and I think Todd Gilliland's got a great shot to qualify well, finish well, compete for the win. I think that's a fair pick. I think it's a good pick. I think he's like 50-1, but it's possible. It's very possible. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. win? Okay, we're making win predictions. So David says Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Get me today! ! Tech says Todd. So let's hear the predictions of who's going to win. We predicted who we think is going to cause the big one. I guess I have not. So I will go. Everyone's saying Stenhouse, Logano, Brad. It's going to be someone out of desperation. It's going to be someone who has to win to make it into the playoffs, and they're either going to be leading or they're going to have a shot at the lead, and they're going to stick their nose where they shouldn't, or they're going to throw an over-aggressive block. So, let's go through this list. He might do something, but he also needs points. He might do something. We know he might do something. He might do something. Oh, yeah. Noah Gragson. I'm going with Gragson. If Gragson is in the lead or in contention for this thing late, I think he will do anything to get Stewart-Haas their last win. So I'm going to go with Gragson. I think Gragson does it. Gregson triggers a 23-car pileup with 4 laps to go at Daytona. That's my big one prediction. Can we get a Rick Ware caution with Cody Ware? It's possible. Possible. I'm betting my money on the pace car to win because the pace car is always the car that's undamaged. That is not accurate. 2021 New Hampshire, Kyle Busch almost ripped the bumper off the pace car. Never forget, 2021 New Hampshire. But yes, I get your point, Cloudy 341 Blade. Screw it, a Ford is causing the big one because in the next gen era, a Ford is always involved in a big wreck or have some big crashes like Priest last year. It's a big number of cars. There's a lot of Fords on this entry list. If we count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've got more than a fourth of the field is Ford, so that's kind of vague. But yes, it's possible. I believe Fox will have 2 night races next season, Texas and Kansas. Oh my goodness, if Texas gets a night race again, we are so back, baby. As an avid Texas Motor Speedway fan and that being my home track, I love the night race. The night race was great. Always fantastic. Plus, if it's true, if the rumors are true and they do move Texas back to May, then yeah, we're going to need a night race. That's the time of year it gets hot. It's not as bad. Like, if they do, right now, all right, guys, so the sun is almost down. It's 8:15 p.m. where I am. It's 100 degrees, and the sun's almost down. It's absurd how hot it is here. I can't stand it. I love this place because I grew up here, but the heat, I hate it. Absolutely hate it. One of the bubble drivers in a must-win situation, trying to gain all the ground they can, wreck half the field. Might as well pick Reddick. Got some good paint schemes listed for Daytona. Shane Van Gisbergen's doing the double with safety culture. He's doing it in Cup and Xfinity. Imagine if 2022 Daytona return. If Daniel Hemrick wins and makes the playoffs, I quit. I don't actually quit. I don't know what I would quit, but Daniel Hemrick in the playoffs, respectfully, I say this with respect. It's going to sound so disrespectful. It probably is, but that is the easiest first round elimination. Someone like Cody Ware to win because they'll be in the playoff. No, well, because Cody Ware's not full time, so he can't be in the playoffs. The 15 car would be in the owners' playoffs, but Cody Ware wouldn't. You're the only person I've seen that wants Texas. Well, it's my home track. And the last 2 Texas races, darn it, they've been good. I don't care what anyone else says. They've been good. You can fight me on it all day. I'm not changing my mind. Even though I still have some doubts about the A-car winning this year, could you imagine the ovation if he somehow does win at Daytona? I don't think it would be a Dale Jr. kind of ovation, but I think he'd get a good amount of cheers. I respect home track loyalty just like I'm loyal to my track, Vegas. Hey, it's a great racetrack. Been to the last 2 or 3 races there. Great racetrack. Here's another question. Who's going to get airborne and who's flipping? Who is going to flip? Should we go for... Let's just go simple. Let's go LaJoie. Back-to-back weeks of flips. So, I've said Gregson's going to cause a big one. LaJoie's going to flip. So, all right, I'm going to make my pick here. I think we see the playoff bubble nuked this week. I think we see someone below the cutoff line do something, somehow survive the carnage like Austin Dillon did a couple years ago. Somehow, some way, make it into the playoffs. I got to be honest. I told you it was last minute. I still haven't made the pick. I'm just going to go through these entry list. I'm waiting for a name to just scream at me. My Monday pick for Monday, August, what's today? August 19th, 2024. Who am I going to pick to win? I can't make them up. Oh, yeah, we're doing it. Harrison Burton, for the first time in the history of the channel, you are being picked to win the race. Harrison Burton is going to survive the carnage. He is going to keep his car clean, and when everyone else has duct tape all over their car, missing parts, missing quarter panels, missing their doors, Harrison Burton will sneak through the carnage and absolutely obliterate the NASCAR playoff field. He is your winner at Daytona. If I get this one right, I'm never making a pick again. Nice and simple. Harrison Burton, that's my Monday pick. I don't know. I expected like an act of something to happen, but all right, didn't happen. But Harrison Burton's my Monday pick. Oh, my Lord. That's going to go so wrong. I bet he crashes like lap 10 for no fault of his own. Said Miami is a night race. It's usually a night race, except when it's in the playoffs. It's an afternoon race. Busch gets airborne leading on the final. Dude, I think if Kyle Busch is on the lead on the last lap, I think he will have a win or die mentality. He'll do what he did in, 08 or 09 when he threw all those blocks to try to win. He'll do that again if he has to. Justin Haley wins Daytona. Rick Ware racing in the playoffs would have been a laughable offense a year ago. And while still, I would say they don't deserve a playoff spot this year, Justin Haley has been driving out of his mind this year in a good way. He and Rick Ware Racing have put together something special, something I believe can be very special, which is why I hope he doesn't go to Spire. But at the end of the day, it's his life, his choices. But how special would that be for Justin Haley, the year they're having over at Rick Ware Racing, for him to win and get into the playoffs? I truly think it could be something special, so that would be cool. Do I play League of Legends? Brother, I have a Wii. I every once in a while get on there and play NASCAR 2011 the game, Mario Super Sluggers, Mario Kart. I am nowhere up to date on gaming. Nowhere. So I am the last person on earth you should probably be asking about gaming. LaJoie becomes the first ever to flip in back-to-back races and 3 flips in 1 year. I always forget. Someone pointed out. Cory LaJoie flips, Tyler Reddick wins. It's weird that it's happened twice in 1 year, but it has. You can't dispute it. It's quite weird. It really is. If we had a full race season points between Hamlin, Larson, Reddick, Chase, we would be eating from. Yeah, I'm never going to forgive them for this format, but it is what it is, and I have to deal with it. And we've stared at this long enough, this entry list, so let's go to the point standings. Oh, look what we could have. Honestly, right now, if it came down to a season-long championship, I'd say, I know he's leading. This is such a lame answer. I'd say Reddick's the favorite. The super speedways, I will say, with the super speedways in these, if this was a Winston Cup championship format, but we still use this points system, like with 60 being the max and 1 being the minimum, I think Reddick would still be the favorite, but I tell you what, I think Elliott would be the second favorite because of the super speedways and road courses. Because the super speedways are a big disadvantage to Larson, and Hamlin in the next gen era, he hasn't been terrible, but he has yet to win there, whereas Elliott has multiple wins. Reddick has a win. So I think this would, I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be my order if it was a season-long format. I think those last 4 races, I'd say 3 of those 4 go Larson and Reddick, but I think Elliott at Martinsville is better than Reddick, but he's maybe beat by Larson. Maybe. And then Hamlin's obviously up there as well at Martinsville. But coming down to it, I think 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be my order if this was a season-long format. Too bad I just wasted all that breath talking about it because it's not going to happen. Not going to matter anyways. Leland Honeyman Jr. will explode the Xfinity Series playoff bubble by winning the Xfinity race. All right, let's look at the Xfinity point standings, shall we? Here's your Cup bubble. We talked about it earlier. I believe in you guys. If you guys want to go look at it, here you go. Stare at it. Process it. It's not going to matter because Harrison Burton, who's not even on here, is going to nuke the playoff grid. As for the Xfinity Series, embrace it. Get ready for it because according to, who said that? Get Me Today, !Tech, Leland Honeyman's going to nuke it. I think Josh Williams has a good shot at being the one who blows up the playoff bubble. I'm going to go, let's do it. Monday pick Josh Williams to win the Xfinity Series race. 2 times the playoff bubble gets exploded. And then, by the way, the Truck Series playoffs start this week at Milwaukee. So I wanted to make my picks there. My championship four for the Truck Series, we'll pop over there real quick, is, okay, let's go to the playoff picture. My final four is going to be Heim, Eckes, Majeski, Sanchez. It's boring. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my champion is Heim. I could have drugged that out and tried to make it exciting and highly anticipated, but I didn't want to. Just Heim's my champion. That's my final four. Nice and simple. There you go. Who do you think wins the regular season championship? Reddick or Elliott? I think Elliott will do better at Daytona, but I think Reddick will do much better. He'll do better at Darlington, and there's always the chance of a wreck at Daytona, so I'll go Reddick. Final standings will be Reddick, Elliott, Hamlin, Larson, the way it is right now. Is the CW broadcast just NBC on another channel? Yes, it is. It's going to be like the same graphics and everything, just the CW logo on it, I think, from what I read a few months ago. What was the best season in your opinion? 2006, the most watched races, the best rookie class, and had respect. 92 is hard to beat because of the championship battle that year, the 3-car championship battle when Kulwicki won the championship. I think that's hard to beat. Obviously, I wasn't alive for it, but everything I read, every highlight I've watched on it, everyone seems to love the 92 season. Creed and Mayer to Haas factory team. Yeah, Creed, that had been rumored, but Mayer was kind of out of nowhere. Like, I thought he was going to be, if he was leaving JRM, he'd be going to Cup because he's been tied with a front row name, but apparently he's going to Haas. That was kind of surprising. Creed, most second place finishes without. Yeah, poor Sheldon Creed. Maybe this week's the week for Creed. I picked him not on Monday. I picked him on Saturday before the race, but maybe this week's the week for Creed. Daytona. Who knows? Who knows? If there's a big one, who do you think will be in it? Michael, we made our predictions earlier for the big one. I said that Gregson would cause it. As for who's in it, that's even more of a guess. But I said a 23-car pileup, so all I got to do is pick like almost half the field. So in the 23-car pileup, Kyle Larson, yep, that's an easy pick right there. Yeah, he's always in it. Martin Truex Jr. always in it. Yeah, those are two just layups right there. Denny Hamlin, we'll go with all the Toyotas. Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace. We'll let Ty Gibbs survive. So Ty Gibbs survives. Bell's in it. So that's 6. So we got Bell, Hamlin, Bubba, Reddick, Larson, Truex. That's 6. We'll go Byron. That's 7. We got to get some Fords in there. We'll go Cody Ware. We will go next with Priest, Gregson, obviously. LaJoie, that's 11. Then we'll go Buescher, 12. Keselowski, 13. Chastain, 14. I got to come up with 9 more. Can we just go back to the entry list and make this easy? Logano, 15. Hemrick, 16. SVG, 17. Stenhouse 18. Zane Smith 19. Carson Hocevar 20. Cindric 21. Austin Dillon 22. Josh Berry 23. So your survivors of this lap 156 crash will be Kyle Busch is going to survive it. Chase Elliott's going to survive it. Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe. Got to go a little bit here. Harrison Burton. Remember, that's my pick to win. Bubba, I put Bubba in there, so I think I put Hemrick in there. Austin Hill's going to survive. McDowell, Todd, John Hunter, Eric Jones, Joey Gase. That's 11. Bowman's 12. Haley's 13. Ty Gibbs is 14. Retzlaff's 15. Zane Smith 16. BJ McLeod's 17. Wait, no. Zane Smith's in it. Daniel Suarez is not. There's your 17. There's the carnage for you. Let's go. God. The super speedway, I'm just going to intentionally make the stupidest picks because it's so stupid. But at least it's a fun stupid. Until, like, someone gets hurt, then I guess that's far too bad. I'm jinxing everyone's fantasy lineup. Bro, if you think I'm jinxing people at Daytona, whew, oh my goodness. Nope, that's not me. That's someone else. That is someone with more power than me because this is Daytona. There's no jinxing at Daytona. It's despicable how Ross Chastain blew a 92-point lead above the cut line. Yeah, they've had a rough stretch of it here. Same thing with Ty Gibbs, but Ty Gibbs has at least built some of it back up. Chastain's, he got down to that cutoff line, and he's, God, it's going to be fun to watch him on Saturday if it doesn't rain. Oof. Well, I'm going to call that a night. It's been a fun live stream. We talked about Michigan. We talked about Cory LaJoie flipping, which then later transitioned into who do we think is going to flip this upcoming race weekend. Remember, it's a Friday and Saturday race. Friday, Xfinity, Friday night if it doesn't rain. Saturday night, Cup race if it doesn't rain. My picks this week are Harrison Burton and Josh Williams. And Corey Heim. Corey Heim to win the truck championship. And you know what? Let's just give him Milwaukee too. What a time we live in. What an exciting time. Thanks for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. And, well, nope, that was the wrong one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Any videos, any news that comes out, I'll talk about. The appeal is supposed to happen on Wednesday for the Austin Dillon thing. And, well, as I said, Daytona. It hopefully is fun, but you never know. Hopefully your Monday pick does well, and maybe your Monday pick of who started the big one. Maybe that's right, too. I'll see you guys.